was a dream. Like, I think everyone fantasizes to be a pro player because people think it's like you play video games all day, you go to tournaments, you have fans. It's a really stress-free, happy job. So I've always dreamt that one day I'll become pro. I was watching a lot of the pro scene and I knew that I could play as well as most of the players there. In the back of my head, I knew I always had the capabilities. I just needed the opportunity. So originally I wasn't going to go to scouting grounds because I was in school and I was doing pretty well. Like, I was getting pretty high grades. I had pretty high GPA. And the week that scouting grounds was being held, I had an exam. The ladder back then, the top 4 players were all junglers. So to get into scouting grounds, you had to be top 4. And back then I was only like top 50. So I thought that I could never make the push to get into scouting grounds, and that if I made it to scouting grounds, that my grades would deplete or get worse. And I also thought that being a pro was kind of not a viable career option, because if you're majoring in computer science and you graduate, obviously there's like pretty good career prospects from there. So I was like, why would I quit 2 years of my college to become pro, make some money, when I can just finish those 2 years of college, get a degree, and make the same amount of money as being a pro. But then I realized, like, a lot of my friends were talking to me and they were convincing me that it's not really the same making money as a pro and making money as a computer science, like, software engineer. I guess a part of me sparked. I really wanted to get into scouting grounds and see how far it would take me, because the pro lifestyle does seem really enticing.
My name is Matt Nasha, better known as Trinity, and I'm the director of esports at Counterlogic Gaming. The Scouting Grounds was an event that Riot had brought up the idea. Tony actually had been working alongside with Riot and generating ideas of what a Scouting Grounds would look like, and Riot eventually created what we now know as Scouting Grounds. Primary goal was to obviously scout talent and to see if there were any players that we could bring into CLG and to develop over time, and eventually give them an opportunity to move on to the main roster. Provides a lot of security for the organization in the event that a player has an injury, retires, and so that way we can move them in. And we didn't expect these players to have a direct immediate impact, but it was more so of a long-term plan that we have for each of them.
I was most nervous about getting into scouting grounds because I didn't know what to expect from scouting grounds. Like, I didn't know what would come out of it. Like, I actually never expected to get on CLG for scouting grounds. I expected to perhaps get on an amateur team. Definitely the most nervous for me was getting in, and especially that final day. I grinded like super hard. Like, I was playing like 10 hours a day of ranked, just trying to win every game. It was like the most broken jungle meta, so jungle was really a strong role, so you could actually carry your team by yourself. I started climbing really fast. It surprised me how fast I was climbing, because I didn't know that my role was this broken. Like, I didn't know if it was me or just my role, but it's probably both. So I got up to that ranking, like top 10 challenger, and I think I actually barely made it in on the last day, because some dude dropped below me, and then I was watching the ladder on that day, just hoping for the best that I would make it. And then once I got in and Riot confirmed, like, they checked my accounts, they made sure I didn't boost, I wasn't toxic. Once they gave like the final confirmation I can go and I got my plane tickets in the mail, I was like, all right, I made it, I finally made it. I actually didn't know CLG, Morals, and those teams were gonna be there. Like, I had no idea what the format was. They didn't tell us anything about it. What ended up happening was, on that first day we went to the Riot studios and we played in the LCS practice rooms. And then I just hard carried my team. I got like 20 kills in one game and then 20 kills the next game. I was like, all right, boys, jungle's broken, I got you guys. No one expected my team to win anything. Everyone was like, "Oh, Omar, I feel bad for you, bro." But then we just won a lot of our scrims, and eventually the draft happened for the teams to pick the players, and I was actually the CLG actually first picked me.
Starting with CLG, you are on the clock now. Just announce your picks out loud.
Okay. OmarGod?
I want to talk about OmarGod on Team Cloud Drake because unlike Vex, he was the first pick of the draft, and his KDA is definitely reflective of that highest in the tournament so far, 12.24. He's the quintessential style of a carried jungler. He just is the wrecking ball that Team Cloud Drake seems to just roll right behind.
I don't think the expectations were to find somebody that could have an impact like Omar has thus far on the team. The first impressions of Omar was actually quite funny because he saw us in the what was the Players Lounge then, and he walked in and he saw Aframu and he saw Zix, and he kind of just got like really fanboy, which was really funny. And I think what he did, if I recall correctly, is he had a hat and he was trying to get signatures from them, and he was very, very excited and like you could tell kind of overwhelmed at the experience. And we hadn't met any players at this point yet. We actually just showed up to Riot and we just were hanging out waiting for everything to begin. And that was our first interaction with Omar and actually any player at Scouting Grounds. So it was pretty funny. In terms of like expectations, like I said, we didn't really anticipate anybody to have a direct immediate impact within the first year like Omar has. So for him to be where he is right now is really comforting for us, but also really speaks to him as a player and like his abilities. So overall, it's been really positive and definitely glad that we found him there.
I think most of the offers were appealing, but I don't really see a future with any other team besides CLG. And a lot of the advice that was given to me back then was don't care about the money, just focus on becoming the best you can be. And development was like a really big keyword. Back then, CLG was known for its coaching staff, its communication, its teamwork. And they got second place at MSI, so they were considered like one of the best NA teams, if not the best NA team at the time. And I was like, all right, if I join CLG, I'm definitely gonna have a future.
So when we brought Dardoch in, he had a really positive impact on the team in terms of mindset and competitiveness. He talks about the game a lot. He's always in solo queue. He really helped get the team like refocused on just playing the game and being really immersed in it. And so there was a lot of good that Dardoch brought. Unfortunately, what had happened though is we worked on a lot of Josh's challenges and he overcame many of them. But there was a few that we just recognized that specific to the team, that if he's not a team-based individual, then we are going to kind of have to cut ties at that point, because that was the one thing that we couldn't give in on, where we really needed him to get to where the team was and to be a team-based player and to really help us move forward. And so because we knew that was the case around week 6, we slowly began to incorporate Omar.
But welcome back to our series between FlyQuest and Counterlogic Gaming. Now, just to be clear, OmarGod has subbed in now for Dardoch, so the jungler that has newly joined this roster is kind of back. Yes, he played on CLG's Challenger team.
For quite a while.
Yeah, high-rated solo queue player, so certainly someone that's been with the organization for quite a while.
I knew I was gonna play game 2, so I don't know how I was feeling. I was trying to do a lot of techniques like meditating, positive imagery to help with my nervousness. I didn't really feel nervous until I got on stage and I had to like do all the settings, make sure everything's ready. And then on stage, it was like the first time I felt I was alive. Like I felt my heart pumping, like I could hear my heart pumping and feel it. I was like, holy moly, this is what's going on down there. And so that FlyQuest game, I was pretty nervous. Like I remember going in and learning that playing on stage is like a whole different experience than playing in scrims, and there's a lot more pressure. I don't really know what I expected. Like I expected in my head, I'm trying to be confident and calm, like I'm gonna go on stage, just gonna play my game, do whatever I need to do to win. When I first got on stage, everyone was like chanting my name, like OmarGod, OmarGod. And that was like a new experience for me. I was like, hey guys. So yeah, like I didn't expect it to be so loud and the atmosphere to be so exciting. Like I was really excited and nervous at the same time to play. The first game, oh boy.
Hi, no summoners.
Oh, flashlight gonna miss. Looks for it again. Another great predict from Afro. Knock up's a little short, but he gets moved back into it. Massive play as Omar picks up a kill.
All right, 5 versus 3. Elder Dragon buff on, and CLG this time around.
Yep.
Look at the finish.
Only one turret left there. A speedy finish attempt to get it. As another great hook from Afro. It's gonna seal Wild Turtle's fate. Balls goes down. Only one left there. It's Lemon once. No, never mind. He's absolutely dead. As CLG gonna knock down the next turret. Ace FlyQuest and complete the sweep 2-0 to start their next week. Still on top as they sweep FlyQuest and looking about as clean as ever. Omar, first game into the LCS is a successful one.
When you go from the NACS, which he only had one split, not even a full split, he's new to the pro scene. If you've seen in previous interviews, he never anticipated being a pro player, right? He has a lot that he has been working on in terms of understanding the pro play. And I know the coaching staff has been working a lot with him as well as the players to kind of get him caught up to speed on some of those aspects. In terms of mechanics, there's always room for improvement with mechanics, but that's not where a lot of the focus is. Right now, it's a lot of getting him incorporated with the team, understanding how the team plays the game, what his role needs to be, and as well as understanding kind of macro play at the pro level and just helping him continue to learn and be a student of the game.
Completely different player from 5 weeks ago, especially this week and last week of practice. I think me and the team, we've improved tremendously, especially after the TSM set, after we lost 0-2. That week of scrims, huge strides in making improvements and becoming a lot better. And definitely feel a lot more solid and confident about the team's play and my own play. I've been getting a lot more experience in different situations. So I've been learning a lot of the macro, and I kind of understand how we want to play the game now in a lot of situations. While before I was just fresh from the Challenger Series, I had no idea how LCS teams wanted to play.
Hello and welcome to the 2017 North American LCS Summer Playoffs. We're heading into our second quarterfinal of the weekend between CLG and Envy, and the crowd has packed the arena.
Counter Logic Gaming looking to start their playoff run strong with Darshan in the top lane, OmarGod in the jungle, Kuhi mid, Stixay bot, Aframu supporting, and Coach Six.
It actually is a lot of damage. They can get it.
Doesn't matter.
Darshan's gonna at third. 2K.
Take him out if they can. Aframu.
Omar's
go
gonna
in.
get in.
OmarGod and OmarGod takes the bear at a CLG. Now mounts the counterattack. The light bomb disintegration rate finding its way onto Niski. Zero repels up and over, lands on the other side of the wall. Darshan chasing after, and the boomerang blade takes him down. CLG, what a steal. OmarGod, there's your moment. Niski, the guy they've got to protect, the guy that's got to be kept safe. Baron below half HP. CLG mounting their attack. Lyra going to be taken low, having to escape off the side. Aframu's able to find the knockup. Lyra taken out before he can do anything. Niski over the wall, coming back right there into the river. The cast is able to find him. Airborne onto Darshan. Hawkwell right back into the fight. Niski grabs the kill onto Darshan, but now he's going to be the target. A double kill for Hui. Envy having to back away. Still able to hold the line. OmarGod going to be taken down next. Niski having to run. The damage for Hui. The triple kill for Hui. They're still able to find the damage. Apollo can't do anything. Stixay, unstoppable. Top side, one inhibitor's already gone down, but now the fight comes in. Niski's taken down. CLG have found the enemy mid laner. The Hex Tech ultimatum's gonna keep Lyra in place. The Bloblets are summoned. They're likely gonna be burned before they can do anything about it. Lyra gets back into his full form, only to be taken down again. Aframu finding the kill, jumping away. Trying to stay alive. Darshan's grabbing the kill. Ladies and gentlemen, from the ashes of near defeat, CLG will rise again to find themselves in the semifinals.
It was all a bad dream. The Game 5 redemption for CLG, and they're going to semis.
completely exhausted. I have never done best of fives before, so going full 5 games, each game like 40, 50 minutes, definitely a brand new experience. But I'm glad that last game I was pushing my limits of how exhausted I was. I'm glad I got that one ulti at the end and we won.
You can't ever be too prepared for something, so if I said I was prepared, I'll be lying, I suppose, but I'm taking it day by day. I'm not really focused too much or being too anxious about it. The only thing on my mind right now is that every single day of scrims, improve as much as possible for the next day of scrims. If I take it step by step and execute what we do in practice, then we'll beat any team in the playoffs.